Hi there guys and welcome to today's video. Today we're in attendance of Hibs versus Aston Villa, arguably Hibs' biggest game in the past 5-10 years, and it's here at Easter Road. As you can see, there's the sort of you see Easter Road right behind me as it is filling up, as Hibs will play Aston Villa here today. And yeah, like I said, probably one of the biggest matches that Hibs will play. You know, big game, of course. Aston Villa, very strong opponent, but you know, Hibs have performed really well in Europe so far this season, but you know, it's looking like that could be a very exciting and you know, just a very good performance in general from both sides if they both play to the best of their abilities. The Aston Villa fans do have a small section over there. I believe they've got the bottom half of the away stand, which I'll make sure to show you soon. But yeah, so far it is you know, probably, like I said, one of the biggest games Aston Villa, Hibs have played in recent times. Of course, John McGinn will return to Easter Road for the first time in many years. So a big performance coming up from Hibs and the homecoming for John McGinn. I'll give you more analysis of the game, more to come for this very special night in Leith. A massive game for Hibs today, of course, and for Aston Villa to come here. What do you think that means for Hibs themselves?
It's huge for Hibs, mate, and it sort of puts Hibs on the map, I think, for English fans as well. I think they'll be watching on tonight, see how Villa will get on. So yeah, it's great. I've always been a big fan of the Conference Leagues. I think it gives teams a chance to play in Europe when they otherwise wouldn't have done if it was just Champions League or Europa League. So yeah, really excited to see it tonight, mate.
And of course, this is probably the biggest game that many Hibs fans, you know, have probably seen in their lifetime, and especially probably the biggest game the Hibs players have played. How do you think they sort of, you know, embrace that tonight?
Yeah, I think for the younger fans, it's certainly the biggest game. I'm sure there'll be some older fans who have seen some great games down the years, and probably the cup final as well. I think they'll hold in high regard. But I just think for the fans to see John McGinn back, you spoke about this being one of the biggest games, that cup final. John McGinn was a huge part of that squad, and I think it would be fantastic for the fans to see like the whole of Europe's eyes on Hibs tonight as they watch Villa v Hibs.
The English team from Birmingham have came up, and Ollie Watkins has run riot against Hibs events so far. Of course, you know, we really wanted the Scottish team to do well today. I'm not sure the Hearts fans did, but you know, Villa, the quality has been shown so far in this match. It is clear who's the Premier League side and who's the Scottish Premier League side. But Hibs have definitely put an effort in, and both goals have sort of just come from unfortunate slight errors that just really show the quality difference between the sides. But it's Ollie Watkins, the man of the moment for the Villains, who has got 2 goals so far, Easter Road. But the Hibs fans are still in full voice here, trying to maybe see if their team can at least get something in this game. It is only 2 goals, but it's 2 goals against a Premier League opposition team. The Villa fans, of course, are enjoying themselves in the corner down there. I'm pretty sure I've shown you them before, but yes, it is 2-0 to Aston Villa here. Maybe Hibs can sort of pull something off, which would be nothing short of a miracle, but we'll have to see. They haven't performed poorly by any stretch of the imagination. It is just the difference in quality between the sides. We are 36 minutes in here, and it is Aston Villa 2, Hibs 0. I'll make sure to keep you updated in the next goal. So Ollie Watkins on a hat-trick, but can Hibs get something back in this? We will have to wait and see. Of course, a big game today for Hibs. What do you think sort of impacted the performance the most today?
Probably the fact that Aston Villa are very good. I think it was always going to be tough. Aston Villa are always favourites because of the players that they have. And you know, I thought Hibs actually started the game pretty well, first 15 minutes, but Aston Villa's quality just shone through and made it very difficult for Hibs. And it was always going to be a big ask. It was always going to be a big ask for them.
I think it was that you mentioned this earlier, that there was 2 players on the Aston Villa wages sheet that earn more than the entirety of the Hibs staff combined. Just have sort of,
you would imagine. Well, I don't know that for sure, but Coutinho's not playing tonight. He's definitely on more than the whole squad put together.
Yeah.
So the trying to compare the budget is pointless because it's so big.
Yeah.
Such a huge budget, and you know it's very difficult then. But I think that you can see the quality on the pitch. Forget about the money, and I know they need the money to bring these players in. Real quality on the pitch, quality coming off the bench. Just a really strong Aston Villa side who probably were playing a couple of levels below what they could normally play. So it was a tough night for Hibs. So it's back to league business at the weekend, and I'll be hoping they can get back to winning ways.
A very strong performance from your team tonight. How do you feel it can keep up that performance going into league and keep up this momentum?
Yes, football is very, very difficult, and we are going to face this season a lot of difficult moments. In the Premier League, of course, this is the first and most important competition for us. We are going to face very difficult matches like we did against Everton, against Newcastle, different result. And then I want to add another competition being for us important and try to do something. In FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and in Europe for me it's always special. Always special is Europe because we can add another competition, trying to be protagonists, trying to do one way, hopefully being candidate to get a trophy, and then for everybody I think is and for the supporters as well, because we are in one club. 40 years ago they won the Champions League, the Champions League, yes, Champions League, and of course conference is now the third competition in Europe, Champions League, Europe League and Conference League, but there are a lot of very good teams, and to get a trophy through Conference League I think is very important for us, and to do something, and we want to know and to be competitive in another continent with another team like tonight against Liverpool.